Welcome to Roar Healing Stories. I'm your host, Ellen Line. Let's dive in. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Today, my guest is Becca Pride. Becca is one of my dearest friends, and we have been friends it's been like over a decade. I met Becca when I moved to Texas, and when I was in Texas, Becca was really like the hub of my social life, connected me to like all of my friends. Becca features prominently in episode 1 of this podcast. So you can go back and listen to that if you haven't, for all of the ways that she has sort of intersected with my healing journey. And so today I'm so excited to get to share about her and her work with you all. Becca, tell us about yourself.
Hello. It's so still very sweet to hear these things. Because I like when I think about our relationship, I just think of you as the healer and the emotionally in touch person, and me, this person floating around in your orbit. So it's sweet to imagine that intersection and being a big part of it. That's great. Yes, about me. I am in Austin, Texas, and I'm a licensed massage therapist. And I've been a yoga instructor for 10 years, which feels less and less relevant as I age for some reason. I feel like it was a big part of my identity for a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just doing my best.
Love that.
Yeah.
As we all are. Tell us about your healing work, or your work as a healer.
Yes. So I have a fairly non-linear trajectory of how I got into body work. But yeah, basically went to school, got my undergrad in something I was really passionate about. I studied community development. And yeah, I wanted to take that a lot of big places. And the bigger the place I took it to, the more I realized I really like small places. But yeah, it took me to Austin immediately after school, which is something I never thought I'd want, because I didn't think I wanted to live in a city, like a proper big city. And worked for the Texas legislature, which is wild today to think about. I guess it was kind of wild then, but whatever. Did that. Worked in nonprofits for a while, traveled for a couple of years, worked in international development for a while, and became very deeply stressed. And then started doing yoga because of you. Well, I started doing yoga before that, but I started training as a yoga instructor because of you. Did you talk about that in the first episode? I don't think so.
I don't think I might have. I think I mentioned learning about Buddhism and stuff, because I feel like that was the place I learned the most about Buddhism, was in our yoga teacher training.
Yes. Yeah, I knew I loved yoga, and then you started going to this place in Austin, and you're like, hey, do you want to become a yoga instructor? And I was like, ooh, I really don't. And you were like, but if we do it together, we each save $700. And I was like, okay. Yeah, and then we became yoga instructors that summer, and I immediately took to it and really loved it, and started teaching yoga in the evenings after that while I was at a stressful job, and realized how much I like working with bodies. And I feel like sometimes, especially those of us who might have savior complexes, we think we have to save the world, and we want to save the world. And if you try doing that for a while, some people are really good at it. But I think I realized how instantly gratifying it was to work with a person and then just immediately see them better afterwards, Teaching yoga is awesome. It's great. Anyways, and then I was still at my office job, and yeah, trying to do big things. And yeah, got really stressed one day. I went to happy hour, researched massage schools, quit my job, went to massage school, and now I've been doing that for 8 years. I love it so much.
Amazing. It's like, to me, it's a big shift, but it also makes sense. And especially hearing you talk about it as like being a person who wants to help people. And I think that's very much like the core of community development, right? And then hearing you talk about like getting to witness the immediate results of like, oh, this person feels better after they work with you. It makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
So tell us more about how you approach. I'm not a massage therapist, so I don't know what the right questions to ask are. How do you approach, like, someone comes in and they're like, I'm having tight shoulders. Is that like, oh, and then you're like, okay, cool, I'm going to work on your shoulders. Is that it? Like, what goes into sort of thinking about how you approach your work with a person?
It's like at the risk of, I don't know, misjudging, but it's kind of like anytime anyone feels bad and goes to someone who's supposed to make them feel better.
Yeah.
Like the job is obviously, yes, like they have a tight neck, you work on their neck. But it feels, and I imagine you might relate to this, your job first off is just to be like really nice. And to be like, wow, you're going through something. Like, I'm a really safe place for you to talk about this specific thing on your body. And maybe it's a part of your body you don't want to talk about normally. Not because it's embarrassing, but because it shows you have a physical weakness, which some people have a big complex over. And this is a safe place. And it's also like a dark place and a dimly lit place. And I'm a person who touches bodies constantly all the time. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't care what your body looks like or anything like that. So, I don't know. I feel like the bulk of my job is just like helping people feel really like seen and heard and welcome. And then just providing that space for the allocated amount of time.
Yeah.
Then I'd like massage them too. But I really think the massage is only a fraction of what people come to me for.
Wow. That tracks for me. Like, I see an acupuncturist regularly and I get craniosacral massage therapy regularly. And with acupuncture, the pins, and with craniosacral, the touch are like part of it. But I think what I value even more is all of those things that you just described, right? Like, that this is a person who's like helping me check in with my body and helping me talk about what's going on in my body. And it's like I can go there and explore something without any judgment. And that's what makes it a healing space more so than like the manual part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think about that, like going, when you're experiencing something medical and you go to the hospital or go to the doctor, and at least personally, I like immediately feel better when I enter the building, not because anyone's helped me, but just like, okay, I'm like in the space where like this is dealt with. Like to me, this is really scary, but to them, it's like literally just another person they're seeing that day.
Yeah.
Which I like. I like that. That sounds bad, but I like the idea of like, they're like, oh, you have like a mysterious disease that you don't know what it is, but we definitely do because we're experts. Like, so yeah, just being in that space, I immediately feel better knowing that this is where the experts are.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like that, but I'm not a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. But you are an expert at what you do, right? Like, you've been a massage therapist for, you said 8 years, right?
Yeah.
And you've been working.
I get to call myself an expert yet, but I do like what I do a lot, and I spend a fuck ton of time doing it, and I'm like, lead therapist, and I hire therapists, and I'm an instructor and all that,
but you're not an expert though.
Not yet. One day you know the experts when you meet them in massage therapy. They've all got arthritis in their hands and they talk really kindly. They're great.
Do you feel like you're not calling yourself an expert because of imposter syndrome or patriarchy or something? Or is it truly that you don't feel like you have the experience And then thinking about sort of like the analog for me as a therapist. And it did take me a number of years to feel like, oh, I'm really good at what I do, like,
Yeah,
and maybe is there a difference between being really good at what you do and being an expert?
I think you're right. So I don't think it's imposter syndrome, though maybe that's hard to self-diagnose. But like, so if you've ever, listeners, if you've ever been in the wellness field, I wish more people in the wellness field had fucking imposter syndrome, because what people have is God complexes, which is hilarious because the amount of education we receive is not very much. I much prefer a therapist with imposter syndrome than one that's like, okay, so it seems to me that maybe you've dislocated this arm in the past. Have you done that? And then the client says, no, I haven't. And then the therapist is like, yeah, I think you have. So what we're going to do, like, it's just this, and like with yoga too, this God complex, you see it so often. I feel like anyone who's done yoga regularly has had those instructors who like truly think they know what's best for every single body in the room.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious, because they have no medical records on anybody whenever they start class. And yeah, the massage therapists are very similar. So
yeah,
all that to say, I don't think it's imposter syndrome, but perhaps it is selling myself short because I am like who people go to when they have a question about massage, right? Within my peers, I guess. But yeah, I don't think I'm an expert yet. I think I've got a long way to go. There's so much to learn about the human body and so much to learn about touch and the interaction between emotions and touch and how we hold it in our bodies. And the thing is, I try all of the body work I provide, I try to be evidence-based. Because that's what's important to me when someone's paying me for a service, is to be evidence-based. And it takes you really far. And then sometimes there's this little like gray area where you're like, look, I wish I could give you the scientific evidence of why you're holding emotion in this right hip and why you cry when we work on your right glutes. Give you an evidence-based reason for that. But all I can tell you is that when I get my students in pigeon pose, they cry too. So there's certain things that like I don't know. I can't give evidence-based stuff for. So there's a lot to still figure out.
Yeah. I think the longer that I'm a therapist, the more I feel this tension between sort of that, yes, we want to be offering evidence-based care. And yes, there is this sort of like science base behind therapy and why it works. And then there is also a whole lot of like mystery and wonder and like stuff that feels kind of unknowable. And there's a lot of my decision making that's pretty intuitive as I'm like working with someone, in terms of like what question to ask or what technique to try, that if I really, really thought about it, I could probably give you like an evidence-based reason for, but so much of it doesn't feel like I'm like, okay, now we're opening up the books, or like, okay, now I'm consulting a study.
Yeah. I feel like also when I receive care or seek care, I do want evidence-based until I don't, right? Like I want evidence-based from my doctor, and I want mostly evidence-based from my acupuncturist, but I also want a little non-evidence-based from my acupuncturist.
Yeah.
Tarot reader, what do I want from her, right? I can't.
Yeah, there's I don't think there's an evidence base for tarot so far.
Wow, it's tough. Yeah.
I think we get to, that's like we are complex beings and we get to want all of these things.
Yeah, we do all these things. And like everything's healing. Like, it's crazy that you can struggle with all of these things and then you see all these specialists, you see doctors, and they're all experts in whatever field but then you like read a poem and it strikes you in a way and all of a sudden that thing is fixed. I don't know, the world doesn't make any sense. And I just feel lucky to like be a part of anyone's wellness journey. I think it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Who are some of your like favorite people or problems to work with?
My favorite problem. So easy answer is pregnant people. I went to school. I went to massage school so that I could work with pregnant people. That goes back a while because when I worked in nonprofit, it was kind of this like healthcare nonprofit for a couple years. I decided to study become a doula. And I did a doula program and then realized that it's for those who aren't aware, a doula is a birth attendant. Who's basically on call. So whenever you go into labor, they're there to kind of help hold space for you. And I like loved every single bit about that except being on call. And so it was like immediately like, oh, what am I doing? This is not for me. So, but and the reason I did that is because I read the book that I would strongly recommend to any open to it. Is the book called Half the Sky. Women turning oppression into opportunity. It is so good, and it changed the trajectory of my life pretty dramatically. And yeah, it is fantastic. It's beautiful. And I'm sure outdated at this point because it's probably 15 years old, but very, very, very good. And it made me want to work with women. It made me want to work with women's bodies. It made me want to work with healthcare, but I'm underqualified, certainly when I was 22. So it made me, started becoming doula. I realized it was not for me. Then did yoga and thought I wanted to work with pregnant folks, but ended up doing something else. And then it made me go to massage school to work with pregnant folks. So now I get to do that all the time. I work with pregnant people all the time, and it's amazing.
Yay.
I love it. Yeah. And the reasons for that are like sometimes like some are really shallow of like who needs a massage more than a pregnant woman, right? Like so you feel good giving it, but more so like okay, a pregnant person comes in, they're 38 weeks pregnant. Literally you give them a quiet room to lay down in and comfortable cushions. Your job's essentially done. You can massage them and they'll love it, but like they're gonna be so happy with this like space carved out just for them. This cushion system literally designed for their body. Everything is just designed for their comfort. It's not designed for a person's comfort and then adjusted for a pregnant body. It's like designed for a pregnant person. And then this whole massage protocol is designed for a pregnant person. And so they're just really happy. They're easy to please. Then like, there's the other part where I just get to massage two people at once. I get to massage like these two souls linked so strongly. And this is like this really beautiful, maybe one of the most beautiful times of either their lives. And I get to be like a little part of it. And the massage is always like weird and sacred, and like the babies always start to like kick and move around and swim because they really like whatever hormonally is happening and like the pregnant person's body as they're getting touched. And it's just everything about it is so beautiful, and I love it so much. Yeah, so that's my favorite.
I love that. I love hearing about that.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. And then my second favorite is postpartum. I love to work with postpartum people.
That's also such an important transformative time that I think women and postpartum folks don't get enough support.
Yeah, fourth trimester, baby.
Yeah.
And it's the hardest, right? Like at least when they're still pregnant, especially if it's their first pregnancy, like they get to, it's at least still one package.
Yeah.
But then postpartum, it's so much harder. It's hard to like just leave. Like you want to be there with baby, but also it's just logistically so hard. So anytime someone's able to come in postpartum, I'm just like so honored because they like have really prioritized their body, which is really, really, really hard to do at that time.
Yeah.
And then the fact that I get to be with them in that time is so cool.
Yeah.
I always get, I'm so excited.
I love that. I'm noticing, I feel like I'm really curious, but I don't know if I know the right questions to ask about like you mentioned there's like this pregnancy specific protocol and it's like designed for a pregnant body. And I think I'm curious about like, what is that and how is it maybe different from a massage on a body that's not pregnant?
Yeah, that's a good question, especially if any of your listeners are pregnant or thinking about maybe being pregnant at some point.
Yeah.
Please get a therapist who knows how to work on pregnant bodies. Because I won't go so far as to say a myth, but a misunderstanding that is very prevalent is that massage is unsafe during pregnancy, particularly the first trimester. And the reason that is a misunderstanding is that miscarriages are just way more prevalent in the first trimester than other trimesters.
Yeah.
There's no scientific or otherwise evidence to suggest that massage can induce uterine stimulation, that can induce premature labor. Because, you know, the line is like, if I could induce labor, I would be a millionaire, right?
Yeah.
Because so many women, so many people who are 41 weeks pregnant would be lining up outside my door. But that's not really the way the body works. So when I say like go to someone who knows pregnant bodies, it's not because you should be scared of this. It's because someone who knows pregnant bodies knows where tension patterns develop throughout the first and third trimester. And they develop like, there's a relatively like, you can pretty much guess. Like when someone comes in looking at how, you can look at how they stand, look at how they sit, and you can say, okay, well, how's your low back? And they're like, oh, my low back. You know, it's not super hard to know, but there are different protocols and there's different ways you can lay down whenever you're pregnant. You can't be face down on a flat massage table because you'll be all smushed. So we have all of these cushion systems so that you and baby can be supported, and more so your blood flow can be most efficient. And so, yeah, that's what I mean by different. And there are different massage techniques because you are just in different positions.
Okay.
But it's mostly just like knowing, like, yeah, you want hips, you want like work on your hips and your shoulders.
Yeah.
Or you have prenatal carpal tunnel, which is a thing that people don't know they get. But that gets like so many pregnant people get this. And it's miserable, but massage helps. So if you're suffering from prenatal carpal tunnel, go get a massage. It can help a lot. It's what I'm passionate about. It's what I love. I like got a ton of training on it early on, and I provide trainings on it now, which I feel really fortunate to do. I just love it.
I don't know if I knew that you were training about pregnancy massage. That is so cool.
Yeah, sure. It's cool. I feel like everything needs to be taken with a grain of salt because in Texas, our regulation is so limited. Like I could kind of train on anything, and like I'm considered qualified. I could like create a training on something I've never done before. And because I am a licensed massage therapist instructor, I can't do it. So fortunately, I do know about pregnancy massage and have thousands of hours of experience with pregnancy massage. But in Texas, you can be a trainer doing anything. So, yeah, we have very limited regulation. But you know where you should get a massage is New York City. New York, they have to get over twice as much education as we do in Texas to receive your license.
Wow.
Washington needs more education. Canada needs a ton of education. So yeah, New York and Canada would be good places to get massages.
Well, and I think too, there is something to be said for, and I think this goes for anytime you're going to seek out a helping professional, you have so much more agency, I think, than sometimes we think we do. I'm making a plug. This is my long-winded way of making a plug for like meeting with multiple providers before you choose one, and not being afraid to change providers if you realize that like maybe the person you started with is not as great as you thought. And like there, even in places where there is less regulation or there is less education required to enter into one of these fields, like there are still really like excellently qualified professionals in those spaces, right? Like you take your work so seriously, even though the state of Texas, doesn't really care. But like, I think when folks show up in your massage room, like they feel all of the intention and the expertise that you bring to your work, right? And so it's okay to look for that when you're like out there trying to find someone who's about to be helping you.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so that's a great plug. Thank you.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to Canada for a massage. But yeah, I also think massage is one of those things where if you get your first one is a bad one, then you're like not gonna go back, right? Because massage is so like it's so vulnerable and it's you're laying there with your face down, you don't know what's going on. And if the person getting your massage isn't that good at it, why would you ever do it again?
Yeah.
So yeah, massage is like a bad massage and a good massage are just they exist in two different worlds. It's not like pizza where bad pizza is still pretty good and pizza is awesome. Like bad massage is awful and good massage can be like truly transformative.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is one of those things where if you start and what you receive is not good, like please do, if you continue to have discomfort in your body, like be open to the idea that maybe someone more skilled is out there or just a better fit, right? Sometimes it's all about personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just started this like exact thing happened to me with just therapy.
Yeah.
I just got a therapist that I love and I can talk to and isn't one of my closest friends because that's not ethical. Like I can I can talk to her and I was just like, this was like, I could have had this, like because the therapy I've received in the past has just not been great. And it's I'm sure it's not just them. It's just like our vibe wasn't right. It's kind of like, wow, this is not for me. This doesn't work. I can't open up. I'm not vulnerable enough. I'm not, like it didn't work for me. I remember I messaged you and you were really helpful and made a great blog post about this, about like, whenever I talk to my therapist, I just want to impress them. Like, how do I stop doing this? Like, and I think a part of it was just like, meet one that you can talk to. And that's a huge difference. So, all that to say, like, luckily I have people like you in my life where I know that therapy is good and that it's worthwhile and that there are very compassionate, skilled people out there. So I was able to continue looking. But if I didn't have someone like you in my life and I had these negative experiences or at best neutral experiences with therapy, why keep trying? Like, if you don't know better is out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's very real. And it's maybe there's like a little bit more with some fields, there's like maybe a little bit more objectivity and the provider is less important. I think that we could argue about that possibly. But I think like when it comes to something like massage or therapy where the work is so very vulnerable, finding the right provider is just like so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the difference is like with an ER nurse or like with a doctor, like you don't have the option to never need those services in your life. Like obviously that'd be ideal, but you do have the option to never receive therapy. You have the option to never receive massage. Like those are things you can go without in your life. But if you find the right provider, you can find like some really transformative healing.
Yeah.
And so I think like, I don't know. Therein lies one of the big differences is you can't really go without a doctor, but you can go without these things. But what are you missing?
Yeah.
So this is just a plug for massage therapy in the end. I just think it's good.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling inspired because I really love, like, I go for craniosacral therapy, but it's not like the same, like, kind of hands-on as the massage that you do. And this conversation is making me want to go book some more hands-on massages. Yeah.
I am lucky enough to get plenty of massage in my life. But I still don't think it's enough. I think there's something like really sacred about chiseling out an hour for yourself where you don't even have the option to fuck around on your phone.
Yeah.
And you are completely relinquishing your body, nope, relinquishing yourself to another person to where like you're not even in charge of moving your arm. They move your arm. You know, like you're
Yeah.
literally just laying there
Yeah.
and like receiving a service. And I think that's something that a lot of us, maybe especially a lot of women in the world, really struggle with.
Yeah.
Is just allowing someone to serve you for a period of time, even when it's purely transactional, right?
Yeah.
I still think that's something people really struggle with, and why I like really encourage people to do it if they can, if it's within their realm of capacity. And even if you're working with a really limited budget, you know, most big cities have massage schools where you can get super cheap massage. And, you know, if anyone cares, chances are those students really care because they're really trying to learn. They're trying to do a good job. So they might not give you the best massage, but chances are they're like in it and they are really, really, really wanting you to feel better. So it's not, you know, it's not a throwaway. It's worth trying.
Yeah. Yeah. I have at points in my life done that, like gone to the massage school in my town for like inexpensive massage because that was what I could afford. And it's great. Do you feel comfortable talking about how has being a healer helped you heal?
Ooh, let's dissect it.
Okay. How has being a healer helped you heal?
Has it? That's a good question. I think it's okay. So my career for the past like decade-ish has been body work.
Yeah.
And yet I feel like I have such a complicated relationship with my own body. So it's a great question of like, I feel like practicing what I preach is particularly challenging in my line of work because I feel like the crux of all of it, the crux of maybe everything, is to be kind to yourself, right? And to be gentle with yourself. I feel like I struggle so much with those things with my body sometimes. Sometimes I'm awesome, sometimes I'm great, I'm level-headed, I'm feeling good. But sometimes I'm just like, God, like the coolest bitch to my body and the things I think and say to her. I would say that whether I worked in body work or not, this would be a truth of my life. However, body work makes me very aware of the way I talk to my body or the way I don't move my body, or the way, you know, the things I feel like my body deserves. Something that is so interesting about massage is over time, you'll see patterns in people where people don't believe that they deserve to feel better. It manifests in different ways, but you'll notice these things where the way people talk about the tension in their body, they talk about the shoulder, they talk about whatever, like it's clear that they don't think they deserve to have that feel better, or they can't even imagine a version of themselves that feels better. And some of that is because just chronic pain where they don't anticipate feeling better because they've never felt better. But then a lot of it's just like, yeah, this like lack of entitlement, this feeling that they shouldn't get to feel better for those reasons. And it's a lot. You know, like, I don't know. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things that is I'm sure evidence-based in a lot of ways, but kind of inexplicable in a lot of ways of like, we do carry, anyone who has a body can tell you that they get tension headaches, or that their shoulders get tense when they're stressed, or when a big thing happens in their life, they notice their hip locks up. You know, like these aren't supernatural, right? There's nothing woo-woo about it. It's just the realities of our lives, and we still don't totally understand the connection. The stress hormones that come from our brain, our endocrine system, when these things happen, and the tension that develops in our bodies and where it develops in our bodies. And yeah, so therefore, we like to think that our mind and body are totally different things, but it's all connected to your nervous system. Your brain is telling your body to do the things it does, you know? And we don't like to think about that because it's But that's what's happening, whether we like it or not. So to try and unravel that can be really helpful, but I'm not qualified to do that. So I try to just make people's bodies feel better and encourage them to take deep breaths while I do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, still very mysterious.
Yeah. There's like it feels like there's a parallel for me with working with folks with therapy where maybe two people will show up with the same wound of like and this is like maybe kind of what you were describing too of like I'm not worthy or I don't deserve to have a healthy relationship or I'm not good enough, right? But then the ways that their individual self has like molded around that wound looks really different where like one person is like I avoid all conflict at all times and another person is like I over here like being a super high achiever so that I can feel like I'm deserving and good enough, right? And yeah, there I don't think to the best of my knowledge there aren't like scientific studies about why one person would have one coping strategy over another or like what about our personalities makes us gravitate toward different strategies and yeah like just I think there's so much that we don't know about the way that our brains work and I think the way that Western medicine keeps everything so siloed, who knows if we'll ever know, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. And I think that's why something that's so frustrating about mental health and like physical health is it does feel like you're reinventing the wheel for yourself every time something new goes wrong because you go and like you said, the siloed nature of our healthcare system, you can go to 5 different people who are experts in their field, they're going to give you 5 different answers because they
Yeah.
don't know the context that they know. So like we are all having to kind of patchwork our way into healing our mind and bodies. And maybe there's something freeing in there not being a specific formula. Like maybe there's something freeing in not truly understanding why things happen within our bodies and within our minds the way that they do. But yeah, our life's journey is attempting to figure it out for ourselves. Yeah. Or maybe that's maddening. I don't know.
I think that's what definitely makes it a journey and not just like a thing I did once and finished, right? Where it's like, okay, I'm like walking this path and along the way I'm gonna like keep adding people to my team and I have my massage therapist and I have my regular therapist and I have my primary care doctor and then I have my good friends and then I have my like acquaintances and I have maybe some other helpers and I have my tarot reader and it's like you end up with this like party who are on this journey with you and help like supporting you along the way. And I think my hope is that like all humans can have that, have like find their right traveling party,
Yeah, totally. Find your little wellness entourage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Circling back thought about you being unkind to your body and I just want to name that like I don't think that's specific to you, right? Like I think that's part of just being especially like a woman in patriarchy, but really any person in patriarchy and like white supremacy, that there are very much like these systems and cultural moments that tell us that we're supposed to look this certain way or supposed to have bodies that look or perform in these certain ways, and like 2% of the population actually fits that narrative. It's just I just want to name that.
I love that. And it's so true.
Yeah. The other thought that I was having was around when you were talking earlier about sort of like carving out that time for yourself and like the role that massage sometimes plays in folks' healing journeys. I was thinking about, for me, part of what has been helpful about having like consistent wellness practices is like the process of learning how to receive care. And how that's like still, even still, like I've been working at this for like intentionally on a healing journey for about a decade now, and I still struggle with receiving care.
Yeah.
Like I still have moments that feel very healing around being like it happened just a few weeks ago. I was having awful period cramps. And I said to Chris, my partner, hey, we were like in bed. It was the end of the day. They were like coming back. And I was like, hey, can you put your leg like on my, like just put a body part across my low back? And then he did it. And it was like so uncomplicated. And I just started like crying because I asked for what I needed and I received what I needed. And it like shouldn't have been exceptional, but like because of my history, it was. And I think that's a big part. Now that I'm saying it all, I'm not actually sure that there's a question here.
Yeah. Well, so massage is a great first step in learning how to receive care.
Yeah.
Because you still get the transactional element. So don't worry, we're not doing it altruistically.
Yeah.
Like you are paying someone to provide a service.
Yeah.
Even then, people still really, really, really struggle with just like receiving a massage.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good first step in learning how to ask for help and learning how to ask for the things you need. Because when you first go to massage and you're brand new and you feel weird about it, you're just like, I don't know, just massage what you think needs it. And then as you continue going, you're like, you start to, one of the most beautiful things about massage, and I think there are a lot,
Yeah.
is like, let's say you're someone who doesn't think they need it,
Uh-huh.
which are plenty of people, and you receive a gift card. So you're like, I have to get a massage. Something that massage really offers is the opportunity to A, receive a service, but B, to like take inventory of your body, which is like really hard to do. Even if you're a yoga instructor, even if yoga is a big part of your practice, you might notice, oh, my hip's not opening the way it usually does this week, or oh, my abs are sore this week, or whatever. But like that, you're still asking your body to do all these things for you so that you can take an inventory of what's going on, which is great. But massage gives you this amazing passive opportunity to take this inventory. It's like you're just laying there and you're just feeling it. You're like, holy fuck, like, is that what my shoulder feels like? Is like that what my palm is doing? And like, and maybe you don't have a holy fuck moment the way I often do in my massages. Maybe you're just like, wow, like my low back, like look how strong it is. Or I didn't know it was doing all of that. I didn't know it connected right there in my pelvis, and I didn't know. There's so much opportunity to celebrate your body during a massage and to just like, take inventory of what's going on and to acknowledge all the hard work your body does all the time.
Yeah.
So I just think it's really great. And I do think it's like a great first step on a lot of people's journey to learning how to receive help and receive care. And to do it passively. It's a big ask. A lot of people really, really struggle with receiving massage.
Yeah, which I think also is another very cultural thing, right? Like that we maybe have individual family of origin or otherwise experiences that have contributed to our difficulty receiving care. But I think that is also very much like a systemic cultural like hyper individualism kind of thing, where it's like we're not supposed to need things from people, we're not supposed to care for ourselves in these ways. And so it's like when you go to massage, you're actually being a revolutionary. Radical.
I don't know, and I completely agree with that. And I feel like that's often terminology that I would not use, but I think is very accurate. And I think that there's a reason that certain things are labeled as frivolous when they're actually very important. Mental health is a great example. And, physical health, I think certain things, especially like massage, has been labeled as a luxury thing. Which again, with price, I get, like, if it's inaccessible from a price standpoint, it is, period. But again, I would encourage to look up massage schools. But even outside of that, people where it's well within comfortable for them to receive a massage. The idea of doing that feels frivolous. And it's like, dude, your body's not frivolous, man. Like, especially if there's something going on in there, which there is. Feeling better is not frivolous. It is not frivolous.
Yeah.
There is a reason that this message is said over and over again, right? Like, there's a reason that we are told that we're supposed to be feeling this way. We're supposed to be tense. We're supposed to be feeling badly in our own bodies. But it profits off of that idea. Consider it. When you keep getting, I feel like we're so bombarded with this idea of like XYZ is frivolous or basic or unneeded. Like, just consider who benefits from that messaging. It's not you and your body, right? Like, that's not who's benefiting. Which leads me to my dissertation on why pumpkin spice lattes are fucking fine to drink. And there's no such thing as basic. There's no such thing. You like what you like. There is a reason that certain things are often a feminine preference and then labeled as basic or stupid or frivolous. There's a reason.
Yeah, and the reason is misogyny.
100%. Like, of course, everything we like is stupid. Everything we like is unneeded. Like, we can't, it's stupid to wear your little Taylor Swift concert t-shirt, but you can wear a fucking jersey of your favorite sports guy cosplaying like you're him. I don't know.
It's important to like name how some of this, you know, like this whole podcast is about healing journeys. And of course, I believe that we all, you know, are on them, like those of us who want to be, and that we all like deserve to be. And that it, like, hopefully this helps folks kind of find new pathways or feel less alone on their pathways, right? And that's like kind of a very individualized frame of thinking about healing. And at the same time, there is so much, like, I wonder how much time we spend like working on healing things that if our culture was just slightly more supportive, we would not have to heal.
Yeah. And it, you know, it also, yes, I don't know if this is going to be remotely articulate, but like, maybe there are certain things that we now consider healing, which under a less oppressive society, we would consider existing, right? Like, maybe there are things that we do in order to like heal ourselves because we need to provide a justification of why we're doing it. A thing we're doing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, yeah, maybe it doesn't have to be healing if it was just okay to do.
Yeah. Oh, I think that has like, I feel like that just like unlocked a door in my brain. I want to keep like thinking about that.
Yeah, it feels like a cloudy door though.
It's like, I'm not sure if I want to go through that door.
Yeah. Or just, I don't know if that's anything, but I guess what made me think of that is like, it's true that things like massage are inevitably a part of a healing journey, but like, how cool would it be if it wasn't? And you weren't actively healing, you were just existing, and this is like a part of it. But it feels like we don't have the space to allow for that in a lot of different things in our lives. Also, you know, healing is good, and you know, sometimes we have to assign productivity.
Thanks, capitalism.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Is it? It seems like it is. Sometimes it's humans. Sometimes human nature is really frustrating.
Oh.
Especially when you want to blame somebody for something.
Oh, yeah. It sucks when the person you have to blame is yourself.
I know. Ugh, it happens.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
I think I consider myself very fortunate to be in the healing space at all. And I don't know why I'm feeling the need to encourage people to also maybe like, I think that healing careers are a lot of people's calling.
Mm. Yeah.
And I think there's like this really beautiful wide spectrum, right? Like
Yeah.
there's stuff you can go to a lot of schooling for, and there's stuff you could go to maybe less schooling for. And they're all great. I mean, they're not
Yeah.
all great, but a lot of them are really great. And I think, like, so my day is like, at worst, I'm the highlight of everybody I see's day, right? They're coming in for a massage. Even if this person comes in, it's the most average experience of like my life.
Uh-huh.
It's their highlight of their day, right? Like
Yeah.
that's like just my base level. That's my baseline. Where it only goes up to help someone with chronic pain truly feel better. Or maybe like once I found someone's cancer, I don't know if I told you that, and it like can kind of change the trajectory of their life. And
Yeah.
that was a good thing that we found it. And not yeah, and you can make like a pregnant person feel better. You can make like a really angry, sad person feel better. Like there's just it's so cool. I
Yeah.
think it's so cool. And I would encourage people who are considering maybe some form of body work or healing or medicine or something, that like there are many, many walks that you can take to be a part of someone's healing journey. And it is like the most rewarding thing. So maybe that's my final note. That's what comes to mind.
I love it. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hello, this is Outro Ellen. Thanks so much for listening today. If you're interested in hearing more healing stories, please subscribe on the platform where you're listening or join my newsletter, Find Your Fierce, on Substack. If you subscribe on Substack, you'll get an email every time I publish an episode, so you'll never miss one. The link to Substack is in the episode description. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can head over to Find Your Fierce and join as a monthly, annual, or founding subscriber. Paid subscribers make it possible for these stories to be shared far and wide, and you'll get access to bonus letters, episodes, and events that are just for subscribers. If you want to go above and beyond, please leave us a rating or a review on the platform where you're listening, or share this episode with a friend, frenemy, lover, family member, boss, colleague, or someone who needs it. I'm sending you the love and peace you need to be your best self today and every day. Audio hugs. Bye.